Bonjour, mon petit fleur. That is about as much French as I got going on. I think mon crayon est... I used to know how to say my crayon is orange. All right, so today, yay, we are doing another zip bag. Surprise! This one is the Tile Fractal zip bag. That is also, it's rounded instead of squared at the bottom. And it's super fun. And it's fully lined. Woohoo! So what are we going to need? Obviously, we need our pattern. Yay, available at stringtheoryfabricart.com. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to hoop up some medium weight cutaway. We're only doing the 5x7, but we have to do it in our 8x12 hoop because all the other hoops are busy right now. You're going to need 3 pieces of vinyl. 2 for the front. One is going to be 8 inches wide by 1 inch high. The other is going to be 8 inches wide by 4 3/4 inches high. You will need a piece of back, and to say this is some super whammadine funky disco vinyl, and I don't want to use it all up. So to save vinyl, I do flat black on a lot of my backs or a coordinating color. The back is going to be 6x8 because it's a fully lined. Oh, you'll need. I'm going to do a wristlet strap on this one, and on this one I'm actually going to show you how to do the wristlet strap. Really super easy, really super quick. For the bag part, for the attachment for the wristlet thingamadoodle, you will need 3 inches of 5/8 inch gross grain ribbon and a lobster claw. Woohoo! You will need 2 pieces of 1 inch gross grain ribbon by 2 inches, 2 pieces of it, please. If you don't have that, then some fabric will work. Just make sure that it is 1 inch high and 2 inch long. You'll need a zipper that is 2 inches longer than the width of your bag. This is an 8 inch bag width, so you'll need a 10 inch zipper. This one is actually, ooh, look at that. That's a 15 inch zipper, but it's the one I had, so there you go. For the lining, you will need 3 pieces of fabric. 1 piece of fabric is going to be 8 inches wide by 2 inches tall. 1 piece of fabric is going to be 8 inches wide by 6 inches tall. And then the back is going to be 8 inches wide by 7 inches tall. And if you're going to go ahead and do the wristlet strap with me, you will need 10 inches of a 1 inch, I don't even know what this is called. I call it seatbelt material, but I will find the real name for you here in a minute. And then one of these dubahitchies. I get these dubahitchies from Jane Jones at New Moon. It's a rectangle, 3/4 of a rectangle with a clamp. And if you can see, it's got little teeth there. These make making a wristlet super fast, super easy. It is so cool. All right, so what are we going to do first? First, we're going to put all of our stacks back in the correct order of the way we're going to use them. That way I don't get confused. Obviously. Manya. Yep, there we go. All right, now we're going to take our medium weight cutaway. We're going to throw it in the machine, and we are going to run color stop 1. Back after 1. Okie dokie pokies, we have run color stop 1. And if we were doing a crossbody bag, then we would go ahead and put 2 ribby ribbon lobster claw attachments right there. But we're doing a wristlet, so we're going to take 1 piece of 3 inches by 5/8 inch gross grain ribbon, pass it through, fold it over and line up the raw edges. Then we're going to place it here so that it is approximately 1/4 inch past our die line. We're going to tape it here. And then because we don't like floppy metal bits in our machine, we are also going to tape it there. Stay. And then we are going to run a tack down stitch. That's color stop 2. And then we'll run the die line for our zipper placement and vinyl placement. That's color stop 3. So you don't need me for 2 and 3. Go ahead and you run 2 and 3 on your own, and I'll see you between 3 and 4. Okay, folks, this step is super quick, super easy. We're going to take our zipper, and zipper tape's usually about 1 inch wide. And I told you this was too long of a zipper, so we're going to go ahead and trim some of that zipper off so that I am not wrangling unnecessary stuff. There we go. We're going to line it up right between those 2 die lines. The two die lines being this very bottom one and this one right here. And we are gonna make sure that our zipper zip is lined up between those two die lines and that it is super straight. This is one of those ones where you need lots of precision. It needs to be way straight. You don't want it crooked. You don't want it going at an angle. You want it perfectly straight across. Just like so. And we're gonna throw it, ooh, nope. That is not perfectly straight across. Look at that. That is perfectly straight across. There we go. Throw it in the machine and run color stop. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will be back. We may not even be leaving. Look at me. Wow. We'll be back after color stop 4. I think there's a curve in that zipper. That's why it's causing me all kinds of headaches. It's the zipper's fault, not my fault. See ya after color stop 4 before color stop 5. Hey, there we go. It's all nice and tacked down. And we are going to peel these tapes up, but just put them aside because we're going to need them here in a minute. So remember that 1 inch by 2 inch pieces of ribby ribbon that I had you cut? So we're going to take those, we're going to fold them in half. Both of them. And then we are going to mark in some way. I use my chalk pen. You can use whatever you want. Exactly 1/4 inch. And I like to mark the top and the bottom. Don't worry, this little itty bitty piece of chalk marking is going to be hidden. Now we're gonna do the other one, fold it exactly in half. Boom, 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 just like so. Raw edge to raw edge, finger crease it a little bit. Put it down there on some little measuring device. Find your 1/2 inch, mark your top, mark your bottom. Pull it back over here. All right, so we're gonna take the first one. We're gonna find our little chalk marks. We are going to line up the top and the bottom with our zipper tape as so. And then the chalk marks we're gonna line up with our stitch lines. And we are only going to tape this. We're only gonna tape this at the top and at the outside edge just to kind of hold it in place while we do other stuff. Okay, so there's that one. That's all in place. And then go ahead and grab one more piece of tape. I got that one right there. So we're going to fold it over. Woohoo! We're going to find our little chalky chalks. There we go. We are going to line it up with our zipper tape, top and bottom. And then those lines right there go on top of our stitch lines, our outside lines for the whole bag. See, right there. Can you see how they're lined up? There you go. All right, now we're gonna take, ooh, my vinyl is wanting to roll up on me. We may need extra tape on this one. We are gonna take our 4 3/4 by 8 inch piece of vinyl and we're gonna find that nice straight edge because when we cut it, we made sure we put a nice straight edge in it. And we are going to buck it right up against those teeth. And we are gonna make sure that we are covering left, right, and bottom of our die line. Make sure you're lined up on top of those teeth. And then usually I just say, oh, you only need 2 little pieces of tape left and right at the top to hold it in place. But since this little piece of vinyl has decided that it wants to be curly haired rather than straight haired, it must be humid. That's what it is. When the humidity comes, all the things go curly. I'm gonna do a 4-corner tape. I usually don't bother with a 4, but you see how it's flipping up on me? It does not want to behave. It is having a feisty day. So we're going to go ahead and run color stop 5, and I will be back after 5. Okay, so that was color stop 5. That tacks our vinyl down to our zipper. I really didn't have to stop and come talk to you out between 5 and 6, but I just wanted to show you that. See how tacked down that is? Now you are gonna run color stop 6. On this pattern, color stop 6 is the only design step. Everything else, 1 through 5 and 7 through 12, are bag assembly pieces. So the only design on this is number 6. I'm doing number 6 in black because I think the black on the disco will be way cool. We'll see. So you can change that from black to any color you want, and you don't have to use disco vinyl, but come on. We're all staying alive here. All right, so I will see you after color stop 6. Have fun, guys. Oh my God, that's gonna be such a pretty bag. Okay, guys, so now we are at the start of color stop 7. You need to grab your bottom lining. Your bottom lining. We're gonna flip our hoop over, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but do you see this line right here? It was the bottom dial line for our zipper. We're gonna take our bottom fabric and we are going to put it pretty side down so that that edge is right along that zipper dial line, the very bottom one, okay? Now, you are also gonna wanna tape this puppy in place so that as it's rocking and rolling and moving along on the machine, it doesn't suck the fabric up and under and, you know, cause some problems. And see, I've got a bunch of floppy, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip that floppy over, and I'm going to lightly, you don't have to yoink, and you really don't want to yoink because then you'll misalign stuff. I'm going to lightly pin the excess right here onto the stabilizer so that it doesn't get sucked under. And then I'm gonna put it, and when I put it in the machine, it's gonna go in like this. I'm gonna put it in the machine and I'm gonna run color stop 7, and I'll be right back. It's like a 2-second thing. Okay, and look, we're all done there. It just ran a single tack right there. So now we are going to unpin, and we are going to untape, but don't throw those tapes away. You'll need them here in just 2 seconds. And we're gonna fold this lining down, but we're not gonna fold it all the way like that. We're gonna give her, ooh, look at all of this blah, blah. I'm gonna clean some of this up. I probably should have cleaned it up before I attached this. I just did not notice all of the little strings and hairs and yeah. Ew, ew, my bag is hairy. Quick, somebody get me Nair. Okay, yeah, all those little tails. That's not gonna be pretty, but don't pull it all the way down. You wanna roll it so that you've got about 1/4 of an inch. And then we're just gonna thumbnail crease it. About 1/4 of an inch, yep, see, 1/4 of an inch. And we are going to tape the left and the right, except that obviously I don't know my left from my right because we taped the right and now we're taping the left. And I'm also going to throw just a little piece of tape right down there to make sure that this doesn't get sucked into the machine in the wrong way. We're going to throw it back to the machine and we are going to run color stop 8, and we'll be back right after 8. Okay, that is all good and taken care of and tacked down nice and pretty-like. And I got another tail. Rawr, rawr, yeah. I am growing all kinds of tails. Now, if they were prehensile and I could hold things with them, that would be super awesome. But no, they're just the ugly hairs and tails that stick out, jut out, and cause me problems. Okie dokie. Now, we are going to flip this back over. Ooh, I knocked the camera. Look at me being all flippy. We are going to peel up this tape and this tape. And we could probably peel up those two too because we don't need them, but whatever. And I'm going to set them aside because we're going to use them here in a minute. Then we're going to peel up this tape and that tape. And my ribbon's starting to unravel on me. Oops. And we're going to peel up this tape and that tape. And we are going to take our 1 inch by 8 inch wide piece of vinyl. And we are going to make sure that it is left-right oriented. And we are going to buck it right against those teeth. We're making sure that our ribbon is still down. I'm gonna grab a piece of tape. We're gonna tape that buddy right there. Hey, buddy. And then we're gonna come over here and we are gonna make sure that we're still right on those teeth. And we are gonna tape that little buddy down right there. Hey, buddy. Oops, and it's really wanting to. All right, so boy, this one really wants to curl. I got some curly, so I am going to have to do some See, this is only like 1/8 of an inch, so I'm gonna have to be super careful here. If you've got some vinyl that really wants to stick up, you can put a little piece of tape, but you gotta make sure that you're not putting it in the stitch path. All right, there. Ooh, that's gonna be close. All right, now flip it over to the back, please. See the back? Let's take our other piece of lining, and we want it to look like this when we're done. So we're gonna flip it over, and we're going to line a nice straight edge up with this very top line. With the very top line. See that very top line? We're gonna make sure left, right, we're all good. We are all good. And we're gonna put these 2 little pieces of tape back, the ones that I just pulled up from the bottom piece. There we go. There we go. And we're gonna put it in the machine, and we are going to run color stop 9. Ooh, wow, I am just all over the place today. I'm sorry, guys, if you're getting a little bit of vertigo because I keep knocking that camera out of place. That is my bad, and I am sorry. I am so sorry. I'm just flailing about. All right, throw it in the machine and run color stop 9 back in 2 seconds. I told you it'd only be 2 seconds. So there we go. We've got a single stitch going across. Now we're going to flip the hoop over. And this is the back. And you see we've got it tacked down. We're going to pull up these 2 little tapes, just like so. And just like we did for the bottom, we're going to fold this over, but we're not going to fold it all the way so that it's tight. We want about 1/4 of an inch. About 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to thumbnail crease it. It's not quite a 1/4 of an inch, but it's good enough. And we are going to take tape, and we are going to tape right, and we're going to tape left. And I am also going to put a little piece of tape at the top to keep things from getting sucked into my machine, just like so. And we are going to run color stop 10. We will be back at, now that it's laying down, I'm going to take that up so that, yeah, we minimize the amount of I could do. Go ahead and run 10 and be back in a second. Okie dokie pokies, here's where we need to do some magic. We're going to pull up this little tape right here. And we are going to pull back this vinyl, and we're going to pull back this ruby ribbon, and we're going to open our zipper all the way to this side. Then we're going to put our ruby ribbon back, then the vinyl. Okay, and we are going to run. Come here. Stay. Why won't anything behave today? We are going to run. Wow, nobody wants to listen to me today. We're going to run color stop 11. We're going to run on color stop 11, and we will be right back after 11. Okie dokie pokies. So in addition to closing off our top part of our zipper bag right here, it also gave us some die lines for cutting. So if this were a cross body bag, we would cut notches on those 2 up there, but this is a wristlet bag. I am making a wristlet bag, so I'm using the side attachment. Ew. Come here, there we go. So I am going to turn this bag 90 degrees so I have a good working angle. I'm going to peel up my tape, and I'm going to put it aside because I'm going to use it here in a minute. And I am going to cut on the left side and the right side of my ruby ribbon, not quite to that tack line. See, I'm leaving like a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to come across, and I'm going to cut a straight line between the 2 so that I can fold this mashugana down and take a little piece of tapey tape because we don't like floppy metal bits. There. All right. Now, the other thing that I just almost forgot to do, because I am just rocking and rolling and zipping along, is I need to put a hole in my stabilizer, just a little one. And then I need to flip over. Oh, ha. Nya. All right, let me fix that, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, okie dokie folky. So what I had to do there is I had to go in and rip out both places where it's stitched down inappropriately. And then I had to go back my machine up to do just this little piece over again. I did not have to run the tack lines for either the side attach or for the top attachments. But you might, and then I put a lot of tape down. I'm like, nuh-uh, you ain't going nowhere, buddy. We got all the tape. All right, so what we were gonna do, is I torn a little, I'm gonna tear those up. I will probably be putting them right back. We torn a little hole in our stabilizer. I don't know if you can see that right there. We need to cut away our stabilizer from behind our zipper, but we want to be oh so careful, like most super careful. Like carrying red wine across white carpet careful. All right, so you need to make sure that you are only cutting your stabilizer, not your zipper, not your fabric, not your vinyl. You only want to cut the stabilizer. So be super fragile, super califragilistic expiala okay? Because it would really, really suck. It would suck all of it to get this far and then go ahead and cut a giant hole in something that shouldn't have a giant hole in it. So I am gonna be super slow and super careful and super cautious. And I am going to go turtle slow, way slow. Actually, I may even be going sloth slow. We'll have to check the instant replay, but I am willing to bet that I am going sloth slow instead of turtle slow. But I am also being very careful that I am not cutting my fabric. I'm not cutting my zipper. I am not cutting anything that shouldn't be cut. But there we go. All right, whew. Whew. Tension. All right, so now we are going to take our back vinyl and we are going to put it pretty side down. And we are going to line it up with the tops, and the left, the right and the left. And we are going to take some tape. Why? Because I own stock in 3M. That's why. And we are going to tape. And we are going to tape. We're just going to do a 4-corner tape. And then when I'm done with my 4-corner tape, I'm feeling paranoid because I just had a stitching incident. I'm going to flip it over and go, yep, look, I am going to need a lot more. You don't necessarily need this, but I am having one of those days where everything is going wrong. So just to make sure, you really don't have to tape it down this much. But you know that whole once burned, twice shy thing? Yeah, that's me right now. I am going to tape all of the things. All of the things. And then I am going to put it in the machine. And I am going to run color stop 12. 12? Am I running 12? I am running 12. I will see you after 12. Oh, it would help if I turned the camera off, wouldn't it? Blur. Woohoo! We're almost done. Yes, everything's looking good on the back. Everything's looking good on the front. Now we are going to take our pretty fabric for the final piece of lining. And on the back, we are going to line it up, making sure that we cover all of our stitching. And obviously we're tearing up our tapes and then putting them right back down because you know how today has gone for me. So we're going to take up all the tapes, but then we're going to put them right back down. Okay, right back down. We're going to hold this piece of fabric as if it were a Cat 5 hurricane, and we are stitching on the Gulf Coast. And I'm even going to bring this one up and put it across here. Then we're going to throw it in the machine and we're going to run color stop 13. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not run color stop 14. 14 is a dead stop to keep your needle head from moving across the center of the work and catching on all of the bulk, which will just rip the whole thing right out of the hoop. And that would be ugly and mean. So go ahead and run 14, then we'll be back to cut and trim and toss and turn and blah, blah, blah. Woohoo! We're all done. Yay! Goody, goody, goody. So I'm going to take up my tape and I'm going to hang this off of the cabinet over there. So, or no, I'm not, because I got it all messed up and gross. Okay, well, whatever. And we are going to pop this guy out of the hoop. Oops, yikes. Sorry, guys. I keep doing that. Oi! Hey! Yeah. And we're going to put this hoop out of the way so that I don't, you know, do something stupid, which is well within the range of possibility today. And we are going to, as much as possible, trim this down. I'm going to trim the right side. We want to go about 1/8 of an inch away. Oh, there we go. Did I? Yes, I did. Woohoo. Then we're going to trim the left side about 1/8 of an inch away. Yeah, yeah, just like that. Then, I did not cut through everything again. I need to change my blade. And I said that last time, and guess who has not changed her blade yet? Then we're going to fold this stuff down and use a little piece of tape to keep the lining away. And we are going to trim about 1/8 of an inch at the top. And then because this is a roundy bag, well, first of all, I need to trim off. See here, we're going to cut some little notches. This is our turny flap, but we don't need all of this over here or all of that over there. So we'll be turny in just a minute. Come here. There we go. Because this is rounded, on roundy things, I like to use my pinking shears so that I don't have to go back and notch absolutely everything. This helps ease curves when you've got a large... Now, the problem is I'm cutting through 2 layers of vinyl, 2 layers of fabric, and some stabilizer. So my pinking shears are kind of looking at me going, lady, what are you doing? But it's okay. There we go. So that's a little trick I use. You don't have to do that. You can just cut the curve and then notch it yourself. But that's what I like to do. Okay, so now we need to turn the lining inside out. Oh, wow, I'm all excited here. I forgot to cut the curves up here. Otherwise, we're just going to have all kinds of bulk in those corners and they won't lay right. Wow, I just cannot get my act together today. Oy. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see if I've got my act together. So now we are going to turn our lining. And this is where I get jealous of people with tiny little paws. Turn. Come here. Okay, well, this one's turning better than usual. So did my hand shrink? Could be. All right, now we're going to reach in through the zipper. And we're going to turn it a second time so that the lining's on the inside and the vinyl's on the outside where it belongs. Come here. It may be that I'm using squishier vinyl than usual. That might have something to do with it. I'm going to take that little piece of tape off. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to use my hand to round that seam really nicely. And, you know, we got to roll it too. Rock and roll, baby. And once we're all done here, I will probably put some clover clips and felt on it to really get it to turn. I used to say stack a whole bunch of books on it. And that works too, but when you've got like 9 zip bags, ooh, I need to pokey that corner out. So I'm going to take my pokey instrument, crochet hook, chopstick, magic wand, whatever. I'm going to poke that out. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to have to do the same thing, aren't I? Yes, I am. Licky. Come here. There we go. Now, oh, that's a sexy bag. Now we are going to tuck, I'm going to turn this back out a little bit. We're going to tuck this lining, the top lining in. There you go. And then the bottom lining, I'm going to turn that flap in, turn it all the way in, and then I'm going to spend some time sewing that together. I'll get it started and show you the get start, but then I'm going to turn the camera off to finish because nobody wants to watch me hand sew for, you know, ever. But get it lined up, get your fold lined up with your stitch line, grab your needle and thread. There we go. And I got an email from a seamstress, a sewer, and an embroiderer. He said, how come you don't pin it? I'm like, because, you know, that's the right way to do it. You're supposed to pin all your seams before you sew them together. And I'm like, because that's the mature and correct way to do things. And obviously, I am a loser. Also, it just takes too much time. All right, so now we are gonna come across and we are just going to carefully and prettily, hopefully so that nobody notices. And it's at the very top of the bag in the crease. So if you are not a perfect hand sewer, if you're kind of a sloppy hand sewer, nobody's gonna notice. Shh, it's our little secret. You could probably stitch just about anything in there. You could use neon orange thread and sew in the words, I can't sew. And nobody's ever gonna see it or find it again. So there you go, you just whip stitch back and forth. And of course, I'm catching on everything and it's ugly and I'm stupid. And there's a whole bunch of people going, Ricky, stop saying that. I'm kidding, okay? But so I gotta whip stitch this closed. I'm gonna turn off the camera. I'm gonna do that and then we'll come back to do the wristlet part. Okie dokie, guys, there we are, all stitched up. There's our bag all done. And again, it's got a hot date with some clover clips. There we go. Isn't that looking good? Now, I told you that I was going to do a little wristlet on this one. So we've got, oh, and I was gonna tell you what the name of this stuff is. I'm gonna have to go look it up on, I got this on Amazon, so I'm gonna have to go look it up. So the first thing I do, because it's nylon, is I melt. I've cut 10 inches. I'm gonna melt the edges real quick so that they don't fray on me. See, like that. I did not melt it good enough. Let's melt it good enough. There, that's melted good enough. And then I'm gonna melt this side good enough. And that side's melted good enough. Yep, that side's good enough. All right, now I'm going to fold it in half, melty edge to melty edge. And I am going to take one of these, and I think Jane even calls them wristlet hardware. And I am going to pre-squish it just a little bit. So this is just a pair of flat-nosed pliers. And I've put, they don't have any serration on them. And I've put electrical tape around them to keep it from marring or scratching up my vinyl hardware or my hardware. And if you're really paranoid, you can go ahead and use some felt as well to make sure. And I am just going to close it just a tiny bit, like that much, okay? And then I'm going to take both of these edges lined up nice and even. And I'm going to put them in there just like so. And this is where being an octopus would be handy. I'm going to shove them all the way in. And then I'm going to take my little plier thingies. Okay, and you see, do you see? And I'm going to squunch. Then, while it's still squunched, I'm going to tug. I want those teeth to super lock it in. There we go. Come here. There you go. There you go. There you go. See how pretty that is? And now I'm going to attach it here. And voila. All right, guys, there is the Tile Fractal zip bag with, fully lined, with wristlet strap. All right, guys, that's it. I will have all of the sizes up and available on the website for you. Peace.